Okay. Okay. This is a little different for me. This one hits a little different. And I say that because I rock with Kwame Brown. I've been rocking with Kwame Brown, really since he started, voicing his opinion on YouTube a couple years ago. And also, I'm a diehard Denver Broncos fan. In case you didn't know, I'm a diehard Denver Broncos fan. I've been a Broncos fan since I was a little boy. The very first football jersey I ever got was a Shannon Sharpe Denver Bronco jersey. Very first. I love Shannon Sharpe. Never met him. Never met either of them. Love Shannon Sharpe. Love Kwame Brown because he keep it 100. And I agree with most of what he talks about. But respectfully, Shannon Sharpe got in his feelings. He really did. Shannon Sharpe got in his feelings and was really out of pocket today when he said Kwame Brown was a Mount Rushmore bust. Because, for one, you unfortunately, Unc, and I'll call you Unc with utmost respect, unfortunately, you just contradicted what you said on Undisputed about a year ago of how you said he was not a bust. And whether you, and as far as people calling Kwame Brown a bust, whether you agree, whether you approve of his NBA career or not, no, he did not live up to the expectations of a number one draft pick. You found out various reasons why, but whether you agree to disagree of how you think his career went, when you spend a dozen years in a league, I don't care if his career point average is 7 points a game. If you spend a dozen years in a league, you're not a bust. I won't say anything about Anthony Bennett, Adam Morrison, list go on and on. But, to try to denigrate him, his person, by always calling him a bust, which that's just factually incorrect. Now, did he meet his expectations as far as what his draft pick was? No, he didn't. Not at all. But he was not a bust because a bust is out the league in 3 years or less. If you want to call somebody a bust, you don't spend a dozen years in the league. That means for a dozen years, there was a team out there who wanted your service, who was willing to pay you for your services. So you can't be a bust if you stay in the league for over 10 years or a dozen years. But back to the topic of the conversation. Well, I think Shannon Sharpe was out of pocket because, Shannon Sharpe is not a basketball player. Skip Bayless is not a basketball player. Shannon Sharpe is a Hall of Fame tight end to me. You can call me biased because I'm a Denver Bronco fan. To me, he's the greatest tight end ever. But he is not a basketball player. He's not a Hall of Fame basketball player. He was not a professional basketball player, and neither was Skip Bayless. Kwame Brown didn't say anything personal about LeBron James. He simply made a basketball critique. And you're talking about a person who was making a basketball critique who played against him, who played against Michael Jordan. He played with Michael Jordan. He played with Kobe Bryant. He played against LeBron James, played against Melo, D. Wade, everybody from that era. And he gave an accurate basketball take. Why Shannon Sharpe took it so personal is beyond me. Why he would say, what's his end game? And he's a Mount Rushmore bust. And Shannon, I want you to think about this. You took it with Kwame the way that Skip Bayless took it with you when you were critiquing Tom Brady, and Skip took a personal shot about your career. And you literally did the exact same thing. And everybody stood with you and rode with you and said that Skip was definitely out of pocket for doing so, for taking it there, because he made it so personal. Shannon, you made it personal. When Kwame Brown didn't say anything disrespectful about LeBron James, the man, he has his opinion about where he ranks, but everybody has an opinion. If somebody has an opinion and does not agree with you, that does not make them wrong or a bad person. Or, it doesn't mean you should denigrate their character. And Unc, you know that. You know that. And and I don't know if you maybe are thinking about it now, but you were clearly in your emotions because Kwame Brown gave a basketball critique the same way you critique Tom Brady. And let me give another example of why Kwame Brown is more qualified than you to make basketball critiques outside of him playing the game. Let's say that Kwame Brown was critiquing Rob Gronkowski on a play. Let's just say he was critiquing Rob Gronkowski on a play. And, or let's say, excuse me, let's say you were critiquing Rob Gronkowski on a play. Let's say you were critiquing him and Kwame Brown disagreed, but then he came out and tried to called you names and denigrated you when you're more qualified to speak about the NFL than he is. Well, it doesn't have to be Rob Gronkowski. Let's say Kwame Brown was critiquing Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson. And he said, hey, he should have did this, that, and the third. You know, you don't have to assassinate his character, because if you were critiquing Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Russell Wilson, and you're like, hey, I think they could have did this, I think they could have did that. But then Kwame Brown comes back and says, well, I mean, you wasn't all that as a tight end, but he was an NFL player. Kwame Brown was an NBA player. You know, just because you don't like or agree with his opinion, and like I said, this hits different for me because I love Shannon Sharpe, and I will continue to love Shannon Sharpe. Like I said, the first ever NFL jersey I got was a Shannon Sharpe jersey. I'm a diehard Denver Bronco fan. I think he's the greatest tight end ever. But he was wrong on this situation to come at Kwame the way he did. If he didn't agree with it, that's cool. But to get as personal as he got and call him a big-ass farmer, what does that have to do with the fact that he was an NBA player? Damn the number one draft pick. Who cares about that? He was an NBA player for 12 years. I think he's qualified to make a critique on any player in the NBA, whether it's LeBron James or whether it's the 15th player on the bench. I think he's qualified to do that. He has the credentials as an NBA player. Doesn't have to be an NBA All-Star, doesn't have to be an NBA Hall of Famer, because there are several people in mainstream media who never made an All-Star game, whose career really didn't live up to snuff, who critique NBA players stars every day. Every day. JJ Redick was never an All-Star. Tim Legler was never an All-Star. Jay Williams played in the NBA for a year or two. And they make critiques about star players every day. But you know what? They're qualified to. Whether they reached a certain plateau in the NBA is irrelevant. They're qualified to do so. Kwame Brown, just because he doesn't have a major network contract from somebody and he's a successful YouTuber, doesn't make him any less qualified to say what he said about LeBron James, because he was right. He was right. In my opinion, he was absolutely right. That doesn't take away from LeBron James's greatness as a player. In my opinion, I don't think LeBron James is the greatest player ever. You want to say anything personal about me? I guess I'm a nobody. So I don't think LeBron James is the greatest player. Me, I think Magic Johnson is the greatest player of all time, but that's just my personal opinion. I actually was happy with the way LeBron James attacked the basket because I didn't want to see him settle for a jump shot and said last play of the game. But come on, Unc, you better than that. You are better than that, because you walk back everything that you said a year ago when you said he wasn't a bust, and he really, honestly and truly, when you look at the totality and longevity of an NBA career, does not fit the bust narrative, does not fit the bust category. And furthermore, and most importantly, he played in the NBA for a dozen years. You never played a dribble in the NBA. Skip Bayless never played a dribble in the NBA. He is more qualified to talk basketball than both of you, unfortunately. And I love your show. I think you talk about three subjects too much. LeBron, Tom Brady, and the Dallas Cowboys is repetitive. It needs to be more creative. That's where First Take got you at. They're more creative, they're more innovative, but that's neither here nor there. But I always tune in when I can. But come on, Unc, you was wrong, bro. You was wrong. You was absolutely wrong for the way you came at that man. And you shouldn't. And you knew that he was gonna clap back. I said that on one of the YouTube when I was watching the YouTube of Undisputed. I said, "Oh me, oh my, this should be good because Kwame is gonna clap back." But the more and more I sat and I thought about it, I'm like, damn. Like, and I'm listening to Shannon. I'm like, well, damn. This man did play in the NBA. He didn't live up to his number one draft pick. Okay, so what? But he did play in the NBA for over a decade. I think he knows what the hell he's talking about. If you listen to Kwame Brown talk basketball, he knows what the hell he's talking about. There are several players on TV. There are several players on coaching staffs that do not have the resume that a LeBron James or a Kobe Bryant or a Magic Johnson or a Michael Jordan. Hell, even a CJ McCollum. They didn't have the resume of a CJ McCollum, but they talk basketball and they're qualified to talk basketball. So I think that was a shot below the belt. I don't know if you'll address it on Undisputed, or if you're not going to give Kwame that type of clout anymore or attention, or if you'll address it on Club Shay Shay. I love what Shannon Sharpe does. I love the podcast. I love Undisputed. I think, honestly, he could do a lot better. I think he could do better by himself outside of Undisputed, to tell you the truth. But remember, you did the exact same thing that Skip Bayless did to you during football season. You made a critique on Tom Brady, and just because Skip Bayless didn't like it because he's such a diehard fanboy of Tom Brady, he went personal at you. And you're qualified to say you're more qualified to talk about NFL than Skip Bayless is. I don't give a damn how long he's covered games and never seen anything quite like it. Bang, 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 Baker Mayfield. Bang, 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 Baker Mayfield. You're more qualified to talk football than him. I'm just saying. So you bigger than that, You bigger than that. And yes, Kwame was already trending, but now he's gonna be trending some more. So he may thank you because his numbers go up. But Joe Public, and I don't know if you care about Joe Public or not. And I'm not even speaking with Joe Public. I'm speaking for myself as a Kwame Brown YouTube supporter and a lifelong Shannon Sharpe fan, who would love to one day have a talk with Shannon Sharpe. And it doesn't have to be about this. It could just be about Denver Broncos, because I love my Denver Broncos. And I live in Richmond, Virginia. Think about that. Let that one sink in. You was wrong. You was wrong. You were dead wrong. You were dead wrong. Because all he did was make a basketball analogy. Another NBA player was critiquing another NBA player. And an NFL player took it personal. Come on, man. Come on, man. You better than that. Just had to voice my opinion. Doesn't matter to me if you hit the like button or not. I just like the fact if you bothered to listen to what I had to say. Y'all have a blessed one. Heading to West Virginia tomorrow to DJ. Peace.